This is One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. We're here at the Tisch WNET studios with Dr. Bill Baker, President Emeritus WNET. Bill, let me ask you something. You are on the faculty over at Columbia University, Fordham University, right?
Fordham and the IESE Business School in Barcelona, Spain, and Juilliard in this building.
Yeah, in your here at Lincoln Center, in your spare time. And also, by the way, can you mind if I plug your book?
Oh, no, I don't think it'd be a wise idea to plug my book. It'd be embarrassing.
Again, yeah, but it's called Every Leader is an Artist, How the World's Greatest Artist Can Make You a more creative leader. You've written so many books on media, on leadership. In the time we have, I just want to ask you, what is the premise of this book?
Well, the premise of the book basically is that being a great leader doesn't mean following a simple formula. Just like being a great artist, and we use artists as a metaphor, great art takes everything an individual has. It's not just a few pieces of your being. It's everything. It's your creativity. It's your ability to communicate. It's your vision. All of those elements that go into being a great artist go into being a great leader.
And Bill Baker, again, before he became the leader, one of the greatest leaders in public television history, in so many ways here at WNET.
I wish.
Yeah, but you had a career, a very successful career on the commercial side. Real quick, can you do a minute on the Oprah stuff? We were down in Baltimore, Group W.
Right. I was the president. Well, no, I then wasn't president. I was manager, general manager of WJZ, the ABC station owned by Westinghouse in Baltimore. I had come to that station as the new manager, and they had a little party for me, and my wife was there with me, who's a nurse, and we were, kind of young people. We were in our 30s managing this TV station. I was in my 30s managing a TV station in Baltimore, and Oprah Winfrey was there, and she had just been let go from the station to do the nightly news. She was put on the weekend, and she was, of course, not happy about that demotion. This was by, somebody who was previous to me. And we were at the party, and I met her, and my wife met her, and my wife had a really interesting conversation with her, and my wife came over to me, and she said, I know you want to start a talk show. I'd been a very successful talk show producer in Cleveland before I was in Baltimore. And I wanted to kind of bring that skill, because talk shows tended to be the things that changed TV stations in my experience. Good ones. So I wanted to do a powerful and important talk show in Baltimore. And my wife said, why don't you think about Oprah? That woman, Oprah, she kind of wears her heart on her sleeve. She'd be a good host. I said, that's really a great idea. So I get all the credit for discovering Oprah, but it was really my wife, the nurse. So I went to Oprah and I said, Oprah, I want to make you a talk show host. And she said, I'm a news person. I don't want to be a talk show host. And she started to cry and was all upset. And she said, I want to just do the news. And I said, look, Oprah, if this works, then I think it has every reason that I think it will work, because I know how to do this and you're a natural at it. You'll have a more profound effect on the people than you ever would being a news person. And none of us, including I'm sure Oprah, had any idea that she would be as successful as she was. We knew she'd be successful, but not to that degree, and we are very proud of that.
Absolutely. Bill, in the time we have left, I want to ask you, obviously Oprah has moved to her own, literally, her own network. In the world of expansion, how do we stay relevant?
Well, it's easy and it's hard. First, I don't have to tell you, because you're one of the few examples that figured all this out. And that's why you're still here, because
we struggle with it.
But you did figure it out. The old world of television, and I think in some ways it's sad, because we were able to get these huge kind of Walter Cronkite boxcar numbers in the era of my early part of my career, when you would do a television show and half of the city would see it that day and talk about it over the water cooler, or talk about the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite, because everybody saw it and you had what we called a common campfire. It united, in some ways, America. It gave you a starting point. Here we have a level now of media fragmentation. And that's good because you can do so many different things, but it's bad because where the heck is the truth? Where does anybody go? And people are just reinforcing their own prejudices. They're going to these little narrow things that are only theirs. So you have to be omnipresent everywhere. The BBC is the best at doing that in the world. Never forgot talking to the Director General of the BBC when they first started, saying, I said, what's your goal? And he said, our goal is to be everywhere. I want to be on your cell phone. I want to be on radio. I want to be on television and everything. I want to be on the internet. And they've done it really well, better than anybody else in the world. The good news is that technology is helping us, so it's making it a lot less expensive to do some of these things. But still, nobody's really got it fully figured out in the sense of being able to do it in the way we do in public television with philanthropy or minimal amounts of money. It takes huge amounts of money to make this work, and that's the scary part for substantive media that worries me, and I don't have all the answers.
Before we get out of here.
No, before I would get
Go ahead.
I want to say something that happens actually in this own building. I teach the only business class at the Juilliard School. I was asked to do that by Dr. Joseph Polisi, the president of Juilliard. I do that as a Fordham professor and a Juilliard professor. And I have students from both Fordham, performing arts students from Juilliard and Fordham, both in my class. And the conclusion is that, let's say if you go to Juilliard, you're the best of the best. Hardest school in America to get into. And you've been, say, practicing the cello 5 hours a day since age 3, and you're ready to graduate from Juilliard, and there's nobody or almost nobody of your skill level anywhere in the world. But what happens? There's no job. The Berlin Philharmonic already has all of the cello, or the New York Phil has all the cello players they need. What are you going to do? Part of it has to be that you have to, as you just said, you have to understand it all. You have to understand that the performing arts is a profession. You have to understand the business of the performing arts. You have to understand how to be an entrepreneur. Have to understand how to sell and promote yourself. All of these things suddenly come into your repertoire that you never had before, that you never knew existed.
Without being overly philosophical or unnecessarily philosophical, people who say, I just want to be an artist, I just want to be a performer, I just want to be a broadcaster. That's a beautiful thing. I just don't believe I have, or most of us have, that luxury, because the last time I checked, if we could not figure out how to bring, Moyers told me this years back, Bill Moyers told me, listen, 'cause I think I might have been complaining about fundraising. Can you relate?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think it was 20 years ago, he said, that's how we get to do what we do. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, one of my students told me at Juilliard, she said, all I want to do is play the piano. That's what I want to do. And I said, I really respect and love that. But I said, do you want to also eat? Do you want to pay the rent? I said, so therefore we have to figure out how to do all of these other things too.
Bill, listen, I don't want to turn this into a love fest, but it's too late for that. Thank you, not just for spending this half hour with us, and more importantly, everything you've done for public television, for WNET 13, for being President Emeritus, for the 20 years as President, and everything you've taught the rest of us, not just to be good broadcasters, but to be good leaders, and to, more importantly, be better people. Dr. Bill Baker, thank you very much.
You're the best of the best, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Medical Center, Berkeley College, TD Bank, Qualcare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents, the law firm of Gibbons PC, and by Verizon Communications. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.